Hello everyone from Emmanuel, and welcome to this strange time between Christmas and New Year, which always feels a little limbo-like. But I guess this year a lot of us are kind of looking forward to the new year, hoping that it brings an improvement on 2020. I thought I'd share with you a poem from 170 years ago that shares that sentiment. In fact, it's a snippet from a much longer poem by Alfred Lord Tennyson. And the poem is called In Memoriam, and he writes it as an elegy for his friend Arthur Hallam, who died at the age of 20-something, very unexpectedly of a stroke. And Tennyson spent 17 years writing In Memoriam as a way of working through his grief at the death of Hallam. And the poem also enables him to work through a lot of religious doubt that the death of a loved one can often bring. So it's a wonderful and quintessentially Victorian poem, and it's bringing together of personal grief and existential crisis, this sort of deep questioning of the very existence of God. But in later sections of the poem, Tennyson uses Christmas as a significant moment that offers hope and that enables him to reaffirm his faith. And so the section I want to read now is quite often anthologized and taken out of the broader poem because I think of its particularly hopeful and positive resonances. And it's called Ring Out Wild Bells. It's about about 7 or 8 stanzas, just so you can pace yourselves. But I think you'll find that it speaks to the particular moment that we find ourselves in now. Ring out wild bells to the wild sky, the flying cloud, the frosty light. The year is dying in the night. Ring out wild bells and let him die. Ring out the old, ring in the new. Ring happy bells across the snow. The year is going, let him go. Ring out the false, ring in the true. Ring out the grief that saps the mind for those that here we see no more. Ring out the feud of rich and poor. Ring in redress to all mankind. Ring out a slowly dying cause and ancient forms of party strife. Ring in the nobler modes of life with sweeter manners, purer laws. Ring out the want, the care, the sin, the faithless coldness of the times. Ring out my mournful rhymes, but ring the fuller minstrel in. Ring out false pride in place and blood, the civic slander and the spite. Ring in the love of truth and right. Ring in the common love of good. Ring out old shapes of foul disease. Ring out the narrowing lust of gold. Ring out the 1,000 wars of old. Ring in the 1,000 years of peace. Ring in the valiant man and free, the larger heart, the kindlier hand. Ring out the darkness of the land. Ring in the Christ that is to be. So I hope that speaks to you, and I hope that helps you to form a bridge between the coming of Christ at Christmas and the sense of a new year in which his presence can be more meaningfully felt. Happy New Year, everybody.